to my story because I didn't actually finish what I was talking about. So, walking around the table in the dining room all night, thinking, talking, and then random epiphanies were happening, random realizations, random moments of awareness, random moments of spontaneous awareness. And it was wonderful. I felt energized. I didn't feel like I was tired. I would sleep and wake up the next day feeling refreshed. I was just being very productive with myself and my time, and it was enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. But at the end of this trip now, I met somebody. And that somebody is now the mother of my child. But all of that decision to go there and do all of that stuff was all conscious. Up until when? Up until I allowed a female to distract me from the path I was already on. Yes, but that was a conscious, unconscious decision because I chose it, but did I really? Like, was I really there? No, I still had abandonment issues. It was an attachment. And then guess what? I dealt with the attachment. And now I have love that is not attached. But I am not welcome at the moment. So I am welcome, in fact, but at a distance. And the distance causes problems financially. And to resolve the problem would mean less time to actually do the thing that I want to do, which is just spend some time with my daughter. But it's my choosing because I could do that and go. I could find the money from somewhere and go, right? But the way that I think of money, I see time and value. And when I think of the time that I spent to get the money in that amount, to the value of how long I would be able to stay, with the time frames of being able to see her, it's like it don't really justify the means. I mean, any time's better than no time, but I could do so much more with that money, and it could make it so much better that I would see my daughter more with what I would do. So I'd rather do that sacrifice now and get more later than get more now and have less later, right? I don't know, that's how I see it, but I don't know if people are understanding this at the moment. But anyways, back to the story. Took me way off course. See, look, even off course in my story, because I was going backwards here, right? So, the story linked to the story before, but I don't think I recorded the story before. No, I started recording after the first story, or the first two stories, in fact. I was like, hey, let me record. I'd like to watch it back, see what it's like. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could post it and it would be like sitting by fire together or just chatting. Except it's only one person chatting, but then people could comment on the conversation in the comments, and we could conversate through that from the conversation. So we could actually have a conversation. That would be pretty cool, I think. There's a spider dangling here. Could you go, mate? Please, thank you. Get away. Yeah, that's what I think. That would be pretty awesome. I mean, I don't think I know that would be awesome for me. I would enjoy that, but I don't know if there's people out there that would enjoy doing that also. I enjoy talking. I enjoy, different perspectives. I enjoy sharing and I enjoy listening. So, for me, that would be cool. So, before I decided to go Cyprus, consciously, because I was like, I'm going to do this for myself. That I went, I done it, I lost weight, I built a relationship with my dad, I felt so much better about myself, within myself, mentally and emotionally, and I had so much more knowledge, or so much more perspective, basically, right? Not knowledge. Let's just take the magic out of it for a moment. I just had so much more knowledge, perspective, magic, so much more perspective, right? That's what it is, realistically. The more perspectives you have, the more perspectives you can perceive, the more information you have to automatically shuffle through to make the most sense for how you perceive. The more you perceive, the more ways you can look. The more ways you can look, the easier it is to find the one that feels right for you. When you know how you feel also, which is why you need the emotional awareness, the emotional intelligence. You can navigate the way that you feel right to go through the world because you have more perspectives to go through the world with. So simple. It's not magical or mystical if you don't want it to be. But if you want it to be, then you can mystify it up. But that's the simplicity of it, and that's what everybody's teaching. It's so simple. Just gain more perspectives. Become more aware of different things, perspectives. Become aware of your body, become aware of your mind, become aware of your emotions, become aware of the energy, become aware of the surroundings, become aware of communicating, become aware of awareness. Once you go through the whole process and you live from higher up here, it's like you're experiencing life rather than living in life, because you're aware of more, you feel more, you see more. Anyway, before that time, the year before, I had a whole relationship thing, which was tied to another relationship thing. Oh my days, bro. What was going on? Don't know how that unfolded, but I mean, I enjoyed myself, I ain't gonna lie. There was difficult moments too, right? But yeah, it was it was actually one of the most mind-boggling experiences that I've had. The dream was humongous that was being sold to me, and then all of a sudden, flip. I was like, oh damn, raw, okay, my bad. And then I realized later that it's the ego flipped back in from the stillness where we met in stillness. The ego flipped back in the real world. All of the stuff came to the surface that was hard to process, and not everybody's as good at processing things as we would like to be, right? So unless it was an all a conscious thing, which, depending on your perspective of conscious, you could be consciously living now, or you could be consciously living now. But after that one, it was like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. Then I read Eckhart Tolle. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. Ooh, that gave me presence, because I had awareness of how to develop the awareness, but I didn't know how to do it because I didn't have the presence. I didn't know how to connect to it. I knew what it was because I experienced it before. I knew what it was because of plant medicines, right? I had those moments. I touched that place, like I felt it, I saw it, but what you see doesn't matter, it's what you feel. Everyone has different perspectives, but the heaven feels the same. Don't strive for an image, strive for the feeling. If you got that peace and love in your heart, you ain't gotta look anywhere else, guys. Nowhere else, literally. Yeah. So, after that point of the Eckhart Tolle Power of Now, I was like, so basically, I was like, no, actually, there's a story I could share. It's a bit of a weird one. Alright, so in my head, this separation with this person was happening because none of us wanted to, but we had to because I don't know, right? I don't remember what the story was in my head. But basically, to shorten the story, it was a month or two later, and I was like, how's things? She was like, yeah, things are really good. Like, really good. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, damn, I'm kind of struggling. She's like, oh, sorry about that, with a smile on her face. And I'm like, rah, okay. And I was like, is it done for you? Like, are you completely over it already? And she was like, yeah, I feel like if I got back with you, I'd be going backwards in life. I was like, okay, fair enough. I was like, damn, that was kind of harsh. I mean, I didn't say that to her. I was just like, damn, that was a bit rough. You didn't have to say it like that, right? You could have just said, yeah, I don't feel like. But it seems some people like to do things that are spiteful. They got their reasons, right? But yeah, it was an interesting time. But after that conversation, the truth shall set you free. Oh my goodness, guys. That conversation, right? When I come off the phone, my body started shaking. My heart started pounding. And I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, my energy, my literal body, I could feel it going. And it was making me feel sick. And it was hard to breathe. And it was all buzzing. And then I laid down on the bed. And my body started shaking. Like I was having a fit. But I wasn't. Like, I could stop this process if I wanted to. It was me letting go, basically. And I was shaking. I'm pretty sure I started crying as well. And then slowly finished. And it felt like everything was sucked out. And I felt light. I felt lighter. felt more. I felt free from the story that I was telling myself. It just dissipated because the story I was telling myself was that we both wanted it, and as soon as she said she didn't, the story unfolded. So thank you so much. How powerful the mind is and how willing the being is. I remember standing there like, why am I still holding on to it then? Why? And then poof, it started. Literally, ask and you shall receive. Maybe that's the real meaning behind it. Not that you're gonna ask for a car and it's gonna come. That's a different kind of manifesting, right? I don't manifest like that. I manifest my truth, my heart, my soul. That's it. I don't want to manifest anything else. I don't want to manifest for material. I want to manifest all my days the spiders on my phone now. But this is a bigger one. This is the dad, the mum. And it's going to go in my cup of tea. Ugh. Anyway. What was I saying? Damn. I forgot what I was saying. What was it, Taffy? Do you remember? Nope. He don't remember either. Well, where was I in the story? Oh, I was saying I manifest differently, right? My soul, my heart, that's it. What was I saying that because of? Because I don't know, if I post it, then I mean you don't need to remind me because I could watch the video back and then I could say what I was saying, but I'm pretty sure if I just talk then I'll get back to the story at some point. That's kind of how my stories go. I just talk about all different things. Oh, I'm like an ayahuasca ceremony. I really don't like spiders actually, and this spider's just chilling on top of the phone. I don't know if it's just chilling there watching me or what. You want to join in? You enjoying the story, bro? Alright, cool. You can listen. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. So, Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, highly recommended. So it gave me the power of presence because, as I said, I already had some keys but I didn't know how to turn the lock, and the power of now, the present moment, is what helped me unlock the keys, basically. I guess that's how it is for everyone when they really become present. All of their keys start to unlock. It's just the process. The keys are the switches in awareness of understanding of your moments and yourself and your emotions, and the awareness switching on. The light bulb switching on. Light bulb switching on of your conscious being. And that process takes as long as it takes. But what I'm saying is you can consciously go through it, in terms of you can choose to go through it more consciously, and it will speed it up to some degree because you're consciously choosing to realize you're bringing yourself back into that state of being. So not only is it a natural process that everyone will undergo eventually, right, more than likely, because the more of us that do, the more of us will, because the energy we emit will be spread between everybody, we are emitting an electromagnetic field. It's not very big, but it's not the point. The point is we are all receptors. So if loads of us that are emitting, the other ones that are receptors are also going to be feeling the amount. So the more of us that consciously do it, the more we'll start to become aware, and then the ones that become more and more aware will do the same ripple effect, because awareness produces awareness. So I don't actually remember what I was saying before still, but that book, and I really liked listening to it, because I'm not gonna lie, dude, it was frustrating me at first. You spoke so slowly, and I was like, come on, please, just faster. Why are you speaking so slow? Are you warming me up and you're gonna speed up? Nope, just like this. I was like, oh, okay. And then I sat with it, and then I was like, you know what? Actually, I like it. I'm zoning out because of it. It's like it brings you into that stillness. And then I'm pretty sure he says it in the book that he speaks like this intentionally. And then I'm like, yes, he did. See, I knew it. I felt it. I saw the shift. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I listened to your book like 3 or 4 times already. I mean, I could have listened more, but I don't know why, but I really don't want to take in other information, which is weird, right? Because I like different perspectives. So why do I have a resistance towards perspectives that are already written? It doesn't make sense. I don't want old perspectives. I want new perspectives, or I don't want somebody else's perspective on my perspective. Kind of sounds like I'm being closed-minded, huh? But it don't feel like I'm being closed-minded. It feels like I don't want nothing to influence the way that I'm exploring. Because I know how easy it is to be influenced. And the things that people like Eckhart Tolle is talking about, or Joe Dispenza, and that, like, they're the kind of things that I am exploring, kind of thing. I'm pretty sure there's loads of people that do, but I do have some pretty deep theories of different things that obviously Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it from a scientific point of view, and I'm talking about it from the experiential, because I can feel what he's talking about in his science. So it's the same thing, just a different perspective. So when I listen to it from that perspective, I don't really want to know about it, because I want to know this perspective. And for me to know this perspective, I need a clear mind, because I'm exploring it from a completely neutral point. If I start listening to that and this and that and this and that and this, then I've got now this idea of what it may be like in my head that blocks me from finding what I'm actually finding, which is to just stay in that place, right? And I want to know my way of doing it. Why do I want to know my way? Yeah, because Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, right? Somatic movement, sound stuff, chanting, things like that, right? They are all something somebody used to find their way to now. It doesn't mean it works for everyone. You got people chanting their lives away. For what? You got people doing a madness sometimes when it don't have to be that much. You just got to learn to be a bit more conscious. That's it, right? And the somatic movements and yoga and Tai Chi, what is that? That when you let go and you let the flow, your body will do movements. You can set your intention to allow the hands to move in the way the energy feels to go, right? You can do it with your legs, you can do it with your whole body and start dancing. And that's why dancing, feeling the energy, is really good, because you're consciously being aware of your whole body's energy system at the same time whilst surrendering to it. And I should really do it more often, because I haven't done it for a while and it felt really good to just do it there. So this is good. But allow your energy to express itself, right? Because your energy is like it's like your soul. It's the buzz in you, right? And if there's discomfort in the buzz in you, then when you move, but when you do it consciously, allowing the energy to guide you, it can look like Tai Chi, it could be yoga poses. But what's right for you might be a little piece of Tai Chi into a yoga pose, into breakdancing, right? You don't have to follow strict routines. It's just listen to your soul. Listen to your being. Bring your awareness to yourself and allow yourself, your body, to express itself and allow the energy to move and flow. When you feel it and you allow it, it also feels good. It's a nice experience, because it's like you get a massage. Your soul gets massaged, is what it feels like, in my opinion anyway. And then after, you feel so good and you sleep so good, and normally you get really good dreams, or really deep dreams. I don't really have bad dreams, actually. The last one I had was a little bit strange, but I think it's connected to something, because it was like the opposite of the polarity that I experienced. So I think it was my subconscious understanding of the processes currently unfolding, which is what I feel like I'm going through in my real day-to-day life also. So it was almost like I was understanding, the sensations being expressed to me in that way. That's how I believe dreams are. It's an expression of your truth, what you really feel underneath, but you need to understand how to interpret the dream. The only way you can understand how to interpret the dream is to understand how you felt in the scenarios. It's not the scenario that you're supposed to focus on, but how you felt in the scenario. And that feeling of how you felt with the scenario, you should be able to determine what it is in your life, if you're living consciously, that your subconscious is pointing to. That's how it works for me anyway. It's happened many a times, and when I've spoken to other people about their dreams and I ask them, certain questions and see if the perspective is similar, it turns out to be. So, pretty cool. I mean, you can't guarantee that it's accurate, but every time I have, it seems to be pretty aligned with my current life at the times of the dreams, kind of thing. Before that, I was with someone. It was a nice relationship. She was a nice woman, and I was not very happy, to be fair. I was happy in the relationship, but I wasn't happy in life. I was at the point where I was like, I don't want this. I don't want to be like this. I want to enjoy my life. I want to have happiness. I want to have a meaning to life. I want to live for something. And there's nothing that I want to live for. I don't care about money or anything. How am I supposed to go through life with meaning if nothing in the material world is meaningful to me? I don't know what to do. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? I just don't want to exist because this feeling that I feel is horrible. Ugh, it was horrible. It was very horrible. And I didn't like the job that I was doing either. It was my own business. It was a good business, but there was too many variables to get somebody else to do it. It wasn't worth the headache, so I just wanted to get rid of it. And eventually I got rid of it. That other story is not necessary, but I was at a point where I was really unhappy because of that also. So I decided I'm gonna get rid of it. Eventually got rid of it a year later, and then that person I separated after that for whatever reasons. And then that's when that other mind boggling one happened after that, basically. But yeah, when I was doing the business, I really do just like making systems. I just found the best way to do everything. Made it so easy that I was doing pretty much the whole business on my own. I mean, it's not that difficult, but I just always find a way to make something kind of efficient, easier. It's not because I'm lazy, it's because I'd rather spend my time doing other things that I enjoy more than this. I could sit there and do the cooking for 4 days, but instead get another machine and cook it in 2 days or 1 day. Like, but made the delivery system more efficient, so there was less back and forth and bigger bulk at once. So it made it a lot easier to manage as an individual. I think that was when I really started realizing that I do like to do systems, but I've always liked it. That's why I liked computer games as well. Like my teenage to adult years. Nah, probably in my 20s. I still liked playing like the business kind of game. Not business, but like strategy, where you gotta make strategies to make things work in, the best kind of way. I've always enjoyed doing things like that. Something I enjoy. Maybe I can find a job that does something like that, but I don't know what kind of job that is. If I post it and anybody knows, please let me know, because I'd like to know. I don't even know what that would be called. I didn't give a very good example of it, but when you do it with most parts of the business, it's a bit long to pick them all out. You just think of the ones that made the most impact to how you process the food and deliver the food and stuff to your business, right? They were the two most prominent changes, I guess. It sped things up a lot, both ways. And it gave me a lot more freedom. And that freedom was needed because I really, really did not feel good for some reason. I didn't know why. I really have no idea why I was completely gone. I just didn't want to exist. I guess that's the dark night of the soul. When you hit the bottom of your pain and despair threshold, and you've given up, but you still won't give up. I mean, that's where I was anyway. but I couldn't give up. It didn't feel right, even though it did, both at the same time. But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It wouldn't feel right to do that. It doesn't feel aligned to me. It's not something that I feel I could do, no matter how much I have had enough. I don't think it's something I could do because it doesn't feel aligned to my being. It's not a way I'm supposed to go. But it doesn't mean you don't feel it. And for anyone who's ever felt that, my goodness, I'm sorry that you had to feel that. But if you're feeling it right now, I promise you it does go. It does. It might take a little bit, but it will go and it will be worth it. If there's things that you're doing that you know makes it continue to happen, change those patterns. And if there's not, have a look to see if there is. And if you looked and there's nothing, then just keep going and it will pass. This too shall pass. Yeah, I didn't feel good. No. I have some interesting shares on that, but I won't share that. It's a bit too much of a downer. I don't really want to talk about it, actually. No, I don't mind. I just don't want to add it into this. I don't mind sharing. Oh, everyone's so private about everything. Why? Obviously, some things are private, but your experiences, why are they private? Some of them are so powerful and learnable. So different perspectives. Everyone goes through crazy things. Everyone goes through difficult things. Everyone struggles. Everyone makes mistakes. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. It's just like, oh damn, I messed up here. Look. Oh my goodness, how did you do that? I don't know, man. I don't know how. No big deal. You learn now. Move on. It's all good. Beautiful, wonderful. Excellent. You know? Anyways, I think after that point, I closed the business. Then I went to a plant medicine ceremony after. So I went on a holiday, and while I was on holiday, the person I was with broke up with me, took her stuff from my house and dropped my stuff off to my house, left the key, didn't want to talk to me, wouldn't talk to me. So when I come back, well, not when I come back, but when I found a place, sorry, I wasn't in England, obviously, I was in Cyprus. I went and found a place. I went to ayahuasca before, and that was a really beautiful experience. And surprisingly, she didn't come up on it. I thought she would have came up in it, but she didn't. No, she didn't. So it was an interesting experience, and it really helped as well. And then I ended up into an entanglement after, but I guess it's because of judgment, isn't it, why people don't share? That's what it comes down to. But you know what? If you don't judge yourself, you don't fear anybody else's judgment, Maybe that's why I don't mind sharing my stuff, because I don't judge myself because of my experiences or my decisions or my behavior. I accept me for who I am and I do better than what I was. But that's just me. So, when I wasn't in this good place, I went to the ayahuasca and stuff, right? In fact, I went ayahuasca when I was first in it, and that was wonderful, interesting experience. Maybe one day I'll share the ayahuasca journey that I had. That was really wicked, and I remember it still, and it was years ago. What else happened? I think that's about it, actually, really. The beginning of the story got cut off. I was talking with myself. But yeah, that's pretty much the last maybe 6 years in dribs and drabs of the bigger obstacles, let's say, and then some of the good parts. There's more good parts, a lot more good parts, but obviously those good parts are, there's too many good parts to say all of the good parts. Or is there? Yeah, that's a good point. Why did I just explain the negatives? Am I a victim right now? Mother? Why did I explain those parts? What was I talking about in the very beginning? I was supposed to be being real with myself. In fact, looking at my life, being real with myself, and realizing my decisions, right? So I told the story, but I didn't do my decisions, whether they was conscious or not. So the decision to go Cyprus was conscious. The relationship was unconscious. The ayahuasca was conscious. Leaving the work was conscious. Staying in it for that long was unconscious. I knew way before I stopped, I knew I shouldn't be doing it. And I kept doing it. Part of a relationship. I knew it should be ending, but I didn't do it because of my attachment. I didn't want to let go, even though it felt like I should let go. I haven't listened, I've heard my compass many times, and I don't listen to it. I didn't used to, because of all of the distractions. I know there's other people that right now they're probably in a relationship that they feel is not right for them, but they're still staying. And that can go in all different scenarios. You're in the job that's not good for you and you're still staying. You're in an area that's no good for you and you're still staying. Every one of these situations you can do something about it, but you tell yourself that you can't for some reason or another. And that's the loop. Then you stay stuck. When you change that perspective to, I'm gonna do something about this, the loop gets disrupted and you get out. It's not so simple, but it's the process. If you don't ever change the perspective, you stay there forever. Do you want to be there forever? Doubt it very much. So why waste more time like I did? No point. Make your moves, make your plans, and do it all. The life you want to experience from your soul, not your mind, the life you want to feel wants to feel you too. That's how connected it will be. Just listen to yourself, trust yourself. This is another reason why I do not want to hear other perspectives. I want to know thyself, not them, not your perspective. I want to know mine first. When I got mine, I don't need anybody else's. And it sounds stupid because it's only on this one thing. And it's only from the ones that are already there. I don't know why. I can talk with people about this stuff and I can hear different perspectives, but I cannot dive into theirs. It don't feel right. I even bought the book. Can't do it. I don't know if it's my ego or if it's my awareness, because it feels that repellent. But if it feels that repellent, maybe it's the ego. I don't know. What do you think? No one ain't gonna listen all the way to here anyway. No one listens to these videos. Doesn't matter. It's not for anybody. It's for me. Me. Maybe one day my little girl can watch it and listen to her dad talking. That would be nice. Maybe. I mean, it would be nice for me to have that with my dad, so I assume she would appreciate it. But maybe I think that because of the relationship that I've had. Who knows? She might be like, Dad, you talk too much. I don't want to sit there listening to you talk. Anything's possible, right? Each to their own. If you don't want to watch, don't watch it. Today was difficult. It was so difficult. I woke up today and I was like, no distractions. And I thought, okay, no distractions for a little bit. I put my earplugs in, covered up my eyes, I laid down. Hour. Got up, restless. Nope, it's still there. No processing's happening. Or slow processing is happening, kind of thing. And then I went, done some shopping, come home. I could play the guitar a little bit. Then I put my earplugs in again, laid down, ended up sleeping for a couple of hours. On and off, while sitting with it, basically. I kept falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up. After that, I felt a bit better, right? Then I went and made some food. Still didn't feel great, but I felt a little bit better. And in fact, I can feel it right now. What are you doing? Okay. Let's go So, where was I? I was talking about the sensation. What? What's wrong? Yeah. So, the whole sensation, it was, I made the food, I come sat outside, I had my earplugs in as well. I sat here for a little bit, and then I was like, nope, can't do it. I don't want to be out here. I didn't really want to eat either. I took the bowl with me, I went upstairs. I think I tasted a little bit of the food actually. Went upstairs, laid down again, sat up, fell asleep, sat up, tossed and turned, still there. I was like, nope, not doing this. I don't think that actually happened. I don't think I actually fell asleep there. I think I was just laying down, tossing and turning, trying to be still, and it felt like I can't be still anymore, right? So then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm getting up, I'm doing something else. I put my camera on and I sat with myself and allowed myself to do some movement, some um, voice expression, and you know, energy stuff, where it feels as though you're doing your own little energetical operation on yourself, right? It doesn't feel like an operation, there's no pain, it's like when you let go, the way that you feel you're moving and the energy that you can feel in the process feels as though you're doing an energetical operation on yourself. I just call it a realignment, because the way I understand it is when you allow the energy to flow, it flows to balance. So the expression of this would just be bringing your full energy into an alignment. The problem is the mind can make it come out of that alignment, and the experiences around when you're emotionally attached to the experience. You can be in alignment, but doesn't mean you're aware of that alignment either. Alright, anyways, I've spoke for long enough today, I think. I really do not believe there's a point of posting this, but instead of deleting it off my phone and not posting it, I'm gonna post it and then delete it off my phone so that at least it exists there. And if I don't want it anymore, I can delete it.